keep the grease away from the drain.
But David, what do I do with my grease then?
Put it in a can, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, throw it in a
Soda
can.
can. Yeah.
Soda can, mainly when it comes to the holidays, you guys are cutting open some cans, stuffing, or olives, whatever you got going on. You guys are cracking open cans. Dump that grease in that can.
We are back with the Dino Service Bros. But we're back, and we're here to talk about Thanksgiving prep, holiday prep, how to make sure your drains don't get clogged, how to take care of your toilets, how to make sure your house stays nice and tidy while that family and friend is over so that you don't have any issues and you don't have to call us.
Yes, 100% what you said. But yeah, no, nice. I mean, let's dive into it. I think a lot of people fail to realize with a lot of people in their households and stuff like that. But for like your holiday prepping, your sinks, I know there's a lot of hands in it. Some people are like, don't care, and they're just throwing whatever down the sink. But a big tip for you guys really is going to be to stay away from all the grease. I know like people fry their turkeys and all that good stuff, but keep your grease away from your sinks. And remember that your garbage disposal is not a trash can. I think people fail to realize that. Like, that's the last little bits that's on the plate, the little remaining pieces. But some people I've seen, even in households that are my own family, they'll just like whoop, dump it in there because, whatever reason, it's easier. But
dump that extra food in the trash can.
Yeah, you just want the little remaining pieces to come off of there. But grease is like your number one problem. I think that's the biggest issue that people have. Like, whenever it comes to kitchen sinks, people are like, "Hey, we want to get our kitchen line augered, with a drain snake," and I just tell them that ain't gonna work. Like, it'll open it up,
but it goes down as a liquid.
Yeah, they're like, I don't understand how that works, But an auger is all it's gonna do. How I explain it, really, it's like jelly. You put your finger in jelly, and you pull your finger out. It's gonna close back in on itself. Same thing with kitchen drains. Sure, it'll pop it open enough to like let the line drain out, but eventually it's just gonna close back up. You're gonna be back to step one. So when it comes to that, it costs a lot of money to have your lines jetted. You can auger majority of your drains, but when it comes to your kitchen line, really what it comes down to is you're gonna have to get it jetted. Jetted being like a pressure washer for your car, except it's just a little head with jet streams coming out of it, so you could clear that line, break up any buildup, and push it down the line.
It's not worth putting grease down your drain.
It's not, unless you want to spend a couple $100, and it depends where you're at. St. George, you have people charging $650 to run a jetter, but you also have people charging about $2,000 to run a jetter. So it depends on who you call and who has what equipment. Some other states I know. In cities, I know Vegas, like their setup fee is like $2,000, 15 to $2,000 just to get them at your doorstep. And then they charge you on top of that, their hourly rates and stuff to run the jetter. So that being said, unless you're wanting to spend money for the holidays that, aren't going to presents, be my guest. Throw grease down the drain. If not, keep the grease away from the drain.
But David, what do I do with my grease then?
Put it in a can, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, throw it in a
Soda
can.
can. Yeah.
Soda can, mainly when it comes to the holidays, you guys are cutting open some cans, stuffing, or olives, whatever you got going on. You guys are cracking open cans. Dump that grease in that can.
Or get tinfoil, put it over a cup, let it sit.
Yeah.
Pour it in the tinfoil.
That's an option too. I poke holes, my tinfoil gets holes in it, but it all works the same. Don't poke holes in it, but but no, 100%. I mean, I think the biggest thing is put your grease into your, into cans, anything that's able to hold it, and you're able to just toss it. Keep it away from the drains. That plumbing is not cheap, and that's what I try to tell people. As much as we love your guys' business and we want you guys to keep calling us, we also don't want you guys to spend money that you don't need to spend.
It's not necessary.
We're here for you guys' plumbing emergencies, water line breaks, your upgrades, you want to get, water quality systems in your house. We're here for all of that. We're also here for all the things that, how you misuse your plumbing. But if that's an area we can help you guys save money by not calling us, we want to do it. But at the end of the day, if you're pouring grease down the drains, you're calling us. There ain't no way around it. You can't afford this equipment. Maybe you can, but it ain't worth it for one time, So
what should people do with guests and toilets? Because toilets are the next big one on holidays. You get a bunch of people in a house.
Get a
all
porta
different
potty.
kinds of people.
Get a porta potty. Tell the girls that they can use the bathroom in the house. Tell them, man, hey, go outside. That's what we did for our family parties. Like, hey, man, y'all are outside. Women, y'all got to use the bathroom inside. But realistically, I mean, the biggest thing is just,
Limit the amount of paper used.
It's hard, right? It's hard. Like, you can't be like, hey,
2 squares.
Uncle Jimmy, like, can you like courtesy flush, brother? Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't back it up on us, The sewer system should be able to handle it. Like, the sewer system has no problems, designed to handle a lot of usage. Obviously, with every flush, it's going to put it into the city sewer. It's going to take it out. So, truthfully, you shouldn't have to worry. And it's hard to tell your family, like, hey, man, I don't know how you are at your house, but can you just take it easy on my plumbing system? It's kind of hard. You really got to just trust in your family that they're smart enough that they don't do that.
See, I think you sit and you have an assembly with everyone that comes over and you say, hey, you can use up to 4 squares. And that's it.
Yeah, you get 4 squares only.
In all seriousness, though, like drains, only certain things should be flushed down the toilets. Like, it should just be limited to
toilet paper. Just TP. That's it.
And whatever you extricate.
Yes. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you do you. Like, whatever y'all got to do, But it's just, when it comes down to, like, outside of, your things you got to do, it's just toilet paper, man. Stay away from wipies. I know they got the dude wipes out there and this and that, and
they're not flushable.
Well, I mean, sure, even if they do flush, they're not great on the sewer plants. Sewer plants have a hard time with them. Like, ain't my job, that's their job, But at the end of the day, to help those guys out too, it makes their job a little bit harder. And depending on like parts of the country that you're in, it all depends on what their system's set up for, what they're able to handle. But it doesn't make it easier. Feminine products are big no.
All in the trash.
Yeah, big no. And anything else, like I say, everything but toilet paper. Keep it out of your toilets. So hopefully, like watching kids, man, I put out a lot of chonies out of toilets because kids, they make a mess and they don't want no one to find out, so they just flush their underwear. And I'm like, we put out a lot of those. It's kind of weird, but like it is what it is. You know what I mean? But outside of that too, eggs. I mean, I don't know who's making eggs for like the holidays, but if you're making eggs, eggshells. For some reason, a lot of people think they could put eggshells down the drain.
I did until we started this, or until I worked with the last company. I thought it was fine.
No, it's not fine.
Grandma did it.
You deserve to sit in timeout. Go sit in the corner. But, at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I didn't know plumbing before I came into plumbing. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be with anything that you do in life. Like, I can't build a rocket ship because I don't know how to build a rocket ship. So, I mean, with plumbing too, like, and I think that's a big thing. And it's like getting familiar with your plumbing system, your HVAC system, everything, electrical, just getting familiar with the basics is like what a homeowner needs to know. Yeah, like what you can and can't do is and mainly for like septics too. Like septics a whole different ball game, but like I said, when it comes down to it, it's going to be eggshells are a massive one we come across. Like they don't float for whatever reason. They just sit at the bottom and getting those suckers out suck. Like even with a jetter, they suck to get out. You sit there for hours just fighting it. Doesn't matter what head you have. Like you're just trying to push all these eggshells down, depending how much are in there. But stay away from that. Stay away from things that build up and get hard. Like I always tell people oatmeal too, because I see oatmeal like pile up on the sides of walls, which is weird. But it's like you leave oatmeal in a bowl, right? It gets like concrete almost. Same thing for your pipes. Like it's gonna do the same thing. So, I mean, the biggest thing anybody should know: water goes down. The remnants of like plate, like some ketchup, some little things, like nothing crazy. Just keep it with water. Keep it like the bare minimum. Obviously, that's what should be flowing down there. And then for your bathrooms, just toilet paper. So stay away from using it as a trash can because that's not what it is. And it will cost you thousands of dollars to get these things fixed and replaced, mainly during the holiday season. Like we deal with it on a daily, but during the holiday season, no one wants that slap of, $600, $1,500 to make repairs. Nobody's wanting to do that after they just spent thousands on Christmas, So like I said, the best thing you guys could do, just be smart with your plumbing system.
So let's talk about garbage disposals, because we get calls all the time where garbage disposals will get clogged and they'll get jammed. What can they do to unjam it quickly or try before calling someone?
Just call me. You don't need to know anything. That's why I'm a plumber. No, I'm just kidding. But
Like the Allen wrench trick.
Yes, so most, unless you're mowing, nowadays, I don't even know what other brands are out there. We use a lot of mowing, but for majority of garbage disposals, what you have is there's like at the bottom of it, usually comes with the garbage disposal anyways, but if your husband or you have a Allen key in there, or Allen keys at home, I forget what size it is, but there's just right underneath there's a reset button. So sometimes if it jams, it just needs to be popped and it'll work. But sometimes you just have stuff stuck in there. Someone dropped a bone in there or whatever. You could get an Allen key and just wiggle it. You unjam it. So all you're doing is manually moving the blades around until it unjams. Unplug the system, reach your hand in there and see what you can't get. Make sure the system unplugs though, because y'all don't want that to kick on and you lose some fingers. So you can do that. So those are 2 tips for your garbage disposals: a reset button and then the unjam. It's just an Allen key. I can't remember what sizing it is, but obviously you have an Allen key. Flip through them, but yeah.
What can they do if they get their drains clogged? Like, because we're a big proponent for don't use chemicals because it can hurt your plumbing system.
Yep.
It's also not good for, like you said, the plants. So what can they do if they do have a clogged drain?
Call a plumber. Really, at that aspect, the best thing to do is call a plumber. Like, you could start like in your sink. Like if it's your sink, you can pull the P-trap apart. All right, those are nuts. Those are really simple to do. You pull the nuts down, you have a bucket underneath
it's the plastic piece underneath your sink.
Yep, it's literally just a little U-shaped guy. But you pull that apart. Sometimes stuff is just stuck in that P-trap. You clean that out, hook it back up, run water. If it still is clogging up, call a plumber. Like at that point, like they have the equipment. Like any plumber you're gonna call in whatever town you're in here, call Dino Plumbing. They're the best in town. I'm not biased at all, but call Dino Plumbing. Call your local plumbers, but they're going to have drain equipment. They're going to have jetters. Like I said, you don't want those expenses, but if they are needed, plumbers are outfitted with them. So that's the best thing, because once it's past that P-trap, you have to own the equipment. There's not a lot of places that rent them anyways, and even with like drain machines, those things will snap your wrist. If you don't know how to use them right, all that torque, all that power, you'll be running it. It'll catch or bind on something. It'll flip and snap your wrist. Like that's just
not only that. If it gets stuck, now you've turned something into several $100s into several $1,000s.
Yeah. So call the professionals. I mean, like I say, there's a way to save money, but sometimes you just got to know your limits. It's like me. I'm not going to try to work on my engine. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm not going to try to work on my engine and to save, couple $100, but me working on it cost me a couple, thousands of dollars on new engine replacement. It's the same thing when it comes to your plumbing, HVAC, electrical, whatever, your trades. Like if you don't know it, you don't know the basics of it, call the professionals, pay the money, because even though you got to spend a couple hundred up front, it'll save you from thousands. So let the professionals do what they're trained for.
What about toilets? What can they do for toilets? Clogged toilets. Other than a plunger, obviously plungers.
They have closet augers. So they have closet augers out there. You go to Home Depot, Lowe's. They don't sponsor us.
They should.
But they have closet augers, which I think everyone should own. That saves you money with us too, because we're gonna come out and do a basic cost. Our basic repair cost, which still sucks when it's like you come out there and we do it in 2 minutes and it's clear. They're like, oh well, I could
using the same tool they saw at Home Depot.
Yeah. Most people buy a plunger because it looks nicer, but if you have a garage or somewhere to store it, they have closet augers. I think they're like $80, $100 or something like that. And all you do is you just stick it right into that hole, where it all flushes away. You stick it all the way down there. It's just like a snake, cable snake. And then once you put it there, it has like a little handle that you just rotate to spin it, and then you just push that all the way down. And if that doesn't clear it, again, that means it's past the toilet, because that will clear the toilet. Whatever's in the way, it'll clear it and free up that space that it needs. But if you get all the way through with that, because it bottoms out at one point, if you get all the way through and it's still not clearing, call a plumber, because it's past that point. Your clog is somewhere down your main line.
I love it. Or my favorite, you could try a hot bucket of water first, after or before the plunger. You can hate on it all you want. Grandma's trick, that works.
Hey, if it works, it works. You know what I'm saying? But get a closet auger. They're not expensive. Yeah, you get invest in it. It'll save you a couple $100. Mainly during Thanksgiving, man. I don't know. People got to go sometimes. So,
also, we should throw this in there about Thanksgiving and the holidays in general with your electricity. Don't overwork your electrical system. Don't Don't plug in a power strip and have 7 different appliances running on it at the same time.
All your Christmas lights.
Right, yeah. At the same time, you're running all your cooking stuff. Take it in steps, take it in portions. Don't blow anything out. No need to cause a fire.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's a lot of people.
It's overlooked.
Yeah, it's overlooked. It's overloaded. You know, a lot of people, like for their Christmas lights, they have so much stuff strung out on extension cords out in their yard, trying to get all these lights to work, but you overwork your system. Get with an electrician. Like there's electricians that install Christmas lights if you're trying to go all out. But if you're just trying to run like 2 or 3 lines, like you're cool. You know what I mean? Like it's not a big worry. But you know, there's big houses out there that want to go all out. Call an electrician. Majority of electricians like do that for the holidays. They'll hang Christmas lights. We do. So if you guys like need any help, let an electrician do it because they know what the power system could hold. You know what the breakers and I guess the power in your house is capable of. So again, it beats burning down your house. Like mainly in a older home too, like where your breakers are bad, they're not really working. Like you don't know that. So if it needs to trip and it doesn't actually trip, now you're starting a fire. So just don't overload your system for sure. And then with the holidays also, like if you're deep frying a turkey, do your research, be safe out there. A lot of people start fires that way. A lot of people burn themselves that way. Make sure the turkey's room temperature. Make sure you drop it in nice and slowly. Like that's the one thing. I don't know if you see all the videos of people just like lighting up.
Boom.
It's like, take it easy. You know, holiday safety is the biggest thing. You see it on the 4th of July. You see it in Thanksgiving. All the holidays. You're always seeing something crazy go wrong. So do your research. Don't just say, I think this is easy and do it. It's just like with plumbing and anything else. Do your research, study a little bit. You used to do it back in the day in school. It doesn't take long to do some research and just verify what you're doing is right. Doing what you're doing is safe as well. So be safe on the holidays. That's a big thing. No one wants to lose family members or any ligaments during the holiday season when it's supposed to be a happy moment.
Do you have any other advice? I think the only other advice I have is if someone's going to buy their Thanksgiving dinner, they should check out Pico-Rica.
Yes, in St. George. Or in Salt Lake, state of Utah, I guess, right? Yep. They're kind of everywhere. Yep. But for sure, check out Pico-Rica for your Thanksgiving dinner. They do a little bit of everything. So it's not your normal Thanksgiving dinner, but it's worth the money, man. What they make is bomb.
You still get turkey, but you get brisket and a bunch
That's
of
what I'm saying. It's not your normal, but like I think it's better. You know, I'm thinking if I wasn't going to California, my Thanksgiving was going to be Pico-Rica. Like those guys get down. We did a cool giveaway with those guys, speaking of as well. We did a really nice giveaway with them as well, where we give back to a school teacher, right?
Yeah, two teachers.
Yeah.
A really deserving family ended up getting that. So
Yep, and it was just a giveaway. People nominated them. We gave them back. We're giving them, us in Pico-Rica are giving them a Thanksgiving dinner to feed their family because they've been down on their luck. With some injuries and stuff like that kind of just put them out of work. So with that being said, Pico-Rica is hooking it up. It's what they do for the holidays anyways. But we linked up with them and we want to make sure at least one family that we can take care of at least has a nice family Thanksgiving and they don't have to worry about it. You know, one less thing on their plate helps them out. So it's a good feeling to be able to help out where you can.
Awesome. Well, if you do need us on Thanksgiving or any holiday, you can call us at 435-236-4568. You can also message us online. It's a little bit slower to get there. But if you just want to check out what we're about, see the show, see some other things, you can find us on social media at Dino Service Pros or online at www.dinoservicepros.com. We're also on Spotify, iTunes, and podcast. What's the other one? Spotify, iTunes?
Podcasts or something. We're everywhere.
YouTube.
It doesn't matter.
It's YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know you didn't say that.
Dino Service Pros. So it's all Dino Service Pros. You can probably just type it in Google and find us there.
Awesome. And my last thing to say to you guys is love your family, love the people you're with, enjoy the holiday season. It's I know a lot of us out there kind of hate the holiday season. It's very stressful sometimes, but once you get there, enjoy the moment, enjoy the family. Tomorrow's not promised for anybody, so love yours and just enjoy it. Be safe out there, you guys. We love you. Thanks for watching.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.